66 million years ago, while giants ruled the land, an even greater hunter ruled the oceans. The Mosasaurus, a massive marine reptile, was the undisputed king of the ancient seas. It wasn't a dinosaur, but it lived alongside them, dominating the waters the way T-Rex ruled the land. The story of Mosasaurus began in the shallow seas that once covered large parts of Europe and North America. These waters were warm and full of life: ammonites, fish, turtles, and other marine reptiles. But as the climate changed, new predators evolved. Among them was a creature unlike any before, built for power, speed, and control. Early ancestors of Mosasaurus were small lizards living near the shore. Over millions of years, they adapted to life in the water. Their legs turned into flippers, their bodies became longer and more flexible, and their tails grew into powerful fins. Nature was shaping a perfect hunter. By the time Mosasaurus appeared, it had become one of the most dangerous predators on Earth. It could reach up to 17 meters long, almost as long as 2 buses. Its skull alone was over 1.5 meters, filled with dozens of sharp conical teeth designed to crush bone and tear flesh. Unlike most reptiles, Mosasaurus had double-hinged jaws that could open wide, allowing it to swallow prey much larger than its head. Scientists believe it hunted in ambush, waiting silently in the dark waters before striking with incredible speed. But what made Mosasaurus truly special was its intelligence. Its eyes were forward-facing, giving it excellent depth perception, a rare feature among reptiles. It could track movement, sense vibrations, and adjust its strike in seconds. This was not a mindless predator. It was an apex hunter that learned, adapted, and ruled its territory. In the Late Cretaceous period, the seas were filled with giants, sharks, plesiosaurs, and other mosasaurs. But none could challenge the dominance of Mosasaurus. It was fast, flexible, and ruthless. Everything smaller than it was food. Even other mosasaurs were not safe. The rise of Mosasaurus changed the balance of power in the ocean. For the first time, one creature controlled an entire ecosystem. The sea had a king, and his reign had just begun. The Mosasaurus was not built for speed alone. It was designed for domination. Every part of its body was shaped by evolution to survive in a world where being second best meant death. Its long, muscular tail worked like a giant rudder, pushing it forward with incredible power. Scientists think it swam like a shark, moving its tail side to side in smooth, fast motions. This made it one of the quickest reptiles in the ocean. The front of its body was heavier and the back more flexible. Perfect balance for chasing, turning, and attacking. Its flippers were small but strong. They didn't make Mosasaurus fast, they made it stable. With them, it could glide silently, change direction instantly, or hold still before an ambush. The creature was made for both stealth and strength. Inside its mouth were double rows of teeth, razor sharp, curved backward, and made to trap prey. Once something entered that mouth, there was no escape. Even if the prey tried to fight, the backward-facing teeth pulled it deeper. The jaws worked like a clamp, and when Mosasaurus bit down, the power behind its skull could crush through bone and shell easily. Its eyes were large and faced slightly forward, giving it perfect vision underwater. They helped it see in the dark, sense movement in the distance, and aim its strikes precisely. Many scientists believe Mosasaurus hunted not only by sight, but also by sensing pressure changes in the water, similar to how sharks feel movement nearby. And unlike fish, it needed to surface to breathe. It had powerful lungs and could hold its breath for long periods, meaning it could stalk its prey from the depths, then strike upward with deadly surprise. This hunting method made it one of the smartest and most dangerous marine predators ever to exist. When it attacked, the ocean exploded with violence. Its speed, combined with raw muscle and precision, gave it a level of control unmatched by any other marine reptile. Mosasaurus could take down turtles, sharks, and even other mosasaurs. To survive in the late Cretaceous seas, you had to be more than strong. You had to be the best. And Mosasaurus was. When the Mosasaurus hunted, the ocean turned silent. It didn't chase like a shark or wait like a crocodile. It used patience, stealth, and precision. This was a predator that knew how to use the sea to its advantage. It began by moving slowly through the deep blue, its massive tail pushing gently, creating almost no noise. Fish swam above, unaware of what was below. The Mosasaurus could feel every vibration in the water, every flick of a fin, every pulse of movement. Once it locked onto a target, it began its approach. It preferred to strike from below. The sunlight at the surface made it hard for prey to see what was beneath them. The Mosasaurus would rise from the darkness in a single burst of speed. Its mouth opened wide, double rows of teeth ready, and it would hit with the force of a torpedo. One strike was enough to end the hunt. Large prey like turtles or smaller marine reptiles stood no chance. Mosasaurus used its strong jaws to crush shells or bones instantly. After killing, it didn't chew. It swallowed whole pieces, sometimes the entire body. The powerful muscles in its throat helped it pull the prey down fast before others could steal it. But it didn't always hunt alone. Fossil evidence suggests that smaller mosasaurs sometimes followed larger ones, feeding on the remains of their kills. This created a deadly system. One killed, the others cleaned up. The ocean was never quiet when Mosasaurus was near. When hunting near coastlines, it used ambush tactics. It hid behind rocks or coral, waiting for something to come close. Then, in one powerful motion, it lunged forward, snapping its jaws shut. Even large fish couldn't escape. Every attack was planned, every move calculated. The Mosasaurus didn't just survive. It dominated. It ruled not by luck but by skill and design. Its hunting style was proof that nature can create perfect balance, silence, strength, and deadly precision. The ocean of the late Cretaceous was alive with movement, color, and danger. It wasn't just a home to Mosasaurus. It was a battlefield of survival. Every day, every wave, brought new challenges. Beneath the shining surface, the water was full of life. Schools of fish swam together in massive groups, flashing silver under the sun. Giant turtles glided calmly through the blue, while ammonites with spiral shells floated like alien balloons. And then, there was the Mosasaurus, the master of this kingdom. It didn't rule by chance. The ocean was a place of constant change. Storms could strike without warning, waves could destroy entire reefs, and predators could appear out of the shadows in seconds. To survive here, Mosasaurus needed to be more than strong. It needed to be adaptable. During the day, it patrolled open waters, searching for food. At night, it often dove deeper, where the light disappeared, and strange glowing creatures drifted. It could go where few others dared. Its lungs and body allowed it to dive far below the surface and rise again with power. But even the king of the sea had enemies. There were giant sharks that dared to steal from its kills. Smaller mosasaurs sometimes challenged it for territory, and above, flying reptiles like pteranodon watched the waters, waiting for pieces of meat to float up. Every part of the sea was alive and hungry. The Mosasaurus ruled through balance. Not endless fighting, but control. It picked its battles wisely. It knew when to strike, when to wait, and when to disappear into the deep. Its size made it feared, but its mind made it unstoppable. Every hunt, every breath was part of the rhythm of the ancient ocean, a world of silence and power, ruled by a creature that was both monster and masterpiece. For millions of years, Mosasaurus ruled the seas without fear. But even kings cannot escape time. The end began quietly, with a change in the air, the water, and the light. No one knew it, but the age of the giants was coming to its final breath. At first, the ocean seemed normal. The waves still rolled and the reef still glowed with life. But slowly, the balance began to shift. Volcanic ash filled the skies, darkening the sunlight that reached the sea. The temperature dropped. Plants near the coast began to die, and with them, the food chain started to break. Mosasaurus, once surrounded by endless prey, began to notice the silence. Fewer fish, fewer turtles. The ocean felt emptier every day. It swam farther and farther, searching for food, but each hunt became harder. Hunger began to shape its journey. Then came the flash. Brighter than the sun, faster than thought. The asteroid struck the Earth, fire rained from the sky. The shock waves reached across the planet. In the oceans, tsunamis the size of mountains roared across continents. The world that Mosasaurus knew was ending. The seas boiled, the skies turned black, and ash fell for months. The sunlight disappeared completely. Without light, the plants died. Without plants, the fish vanished. Without fish, even the great hunters starved. The once living ocean turned into a grave of silence. In its final days, the last Mosasaurus likely swam through cold, dark waters. Slower now, weaker. It no longer hunted for power, but for survival. It was the last echo of an age that would never return. When it finally sank beneath the waves, the sea was still. The reign of the Ocean King was over, but not forgotten. Millions of years later, when people discovered its bones, the legend came alive again. The King of the Deep still lives, not in the ocean, but in our imagination. Millions of years passed. The seas changed, the continents moved, and new creatures rose where the old ones had vanished. But deep beneath layers of rock and time, the story of the Mosasaurus waited, silent, patient, and eternal. When the first fossils were found in the cliffs of Europe, people didn't know what they were. Some thought they belonged to dragons, others to giant crocodiles. But as more bones appeared, the massive skull, the sharp teeth, the paddle-like limbs, scientists realized they had discovered something far greater, a ruler of the ancient ocean. The name they gave it carried power, Mosasaurus, meaning lizard of the river Meuse, where it was first found. But its true home was not in rivers, it was in the endless sea. From that moment, the legend of the Ocean King returned. Museums built entire halls around its skeleton. Artists painted it as a sea monster from another world. In movies and documentaries, it became a symbol of strength, fear, and evolution. To scientists, Mosasaurus was proof that life can adapt to anything. It started as a land reptile, walking on sand and soil, but it evolved. Its legs became fins, its lungs stronger, its body longer and faster. It traded the land for the sea and mastered it completely. Few creatures in history transformed so perfectly. Even now, people look at its fossilized skulls with awe. Each tooth tells a story of survival. Each rib, a mark of the battles it won. Its bones are not just stone, they are a message from the past. A reminder that no matter how powerful or vast an empire may be, time changes everything. And yet the Mosasaurus lives on, not in the deep blue, but in our imagination, our art, and our curiosity. It remains the eternal guardian of the prehistoric seas, a ghost of the ancient world that refuses to fade. As the waves fade and the echoes of the past grow silent, one truth remains. The age of the giants may have ended, but their legacy still breathes in every corner of our world. Each fossil, each bone, each trace beneath the earth is a voice from a forgotten time, whispering that life, no matter how powerful or fragile, always finds a way to endure. The Mosasaurus, the Ocean King, may have vanished beneath the dark waters millions of years ago, but its spirit still moves with every tide, every current, every story we tell about the world before us. When we look at the sea today, endless, deep, mysterious, we are seeing the same ocean it once ruled, the same blue depths that carried its shadow, the same waves that once rose around its colossal form. And so the story never truly ends. The Titans will return, not in flesh, but in memory, in wonder, in the imagination of those who still dream of giants. Because as long as we remember them, they are never truly gone.